What brands should take away from today is the power of treating content not like a campaign, but behaving more like a publisher. And I think that brands, in order to succeed, need to behave more like publishers in today's environment and less like marketers, and really invest in the process of building out great, authentic content and finding means of doing so by learning from the best of what's out there in publishing.
This has been a great event, and I have learned tremendously from just being exposed to the people here, not only the speakers, but the participants. And if there's one thing that I am taking away from it, and I hope people will take away from it, is how important it is for the people in the creative aspects of our profession to get together with the technical people and not see it as isolated islands, which is what happens. We should not be afraid of the technology, and the technology people should not be afraid of the creative people. And I think that bringing these two things together, that junction of technology and creativity, is where the action is going to be.
The one thing I would like people to get out of this event is start collaborating and then stop blaming. We've gone into a culture of design versus tech versus business, and it's not healthy for anybody, and it will not move the industry forward. I mean, things are going to be very, very difficult over the next 3 to 5 years for the publishing industry. Whether you're in a small organization or a large organization, I don't think anything is actually going to be really easy. But starting to actually have conversations from all sides, with all sides, I think that's probably one of the most important things that I think people should get out of this.
I think the thing for people to take away from an event about publishing in particular is the notion of how much internal culture can really be one of the challenges that a brand faces. Publishing is very deeply rooted in workflows and ways of doing things that are deeply embedded, and it can be a real risk to figure out new ways of doing things for new spaces and new media. But actually the potential benefit of investing in that risk is fantastically huge.
If there's one thing that I would want people to take away from the event, it would be the fact that you really always have to be considering the end user. I think sometimes we get so wrapped up in, okay, well, how do we transition this magazine to the iPad or to a mobile device, that we forget, oh, humans use these things. And I think that we always have to remember the human behind the story, the human behind the reading of the actual story itself as well. So always remembering the user, which seems like a very easy thing to remember, but it's actually incredibly difficult when you're getting into the nitty-gritty of how other things work. Just focusing on people all the way through the process, I think, is the most important key.